Hello everyone, it's Joe here from Universal Yachting in Hamble, and today we're going to have a look at the absolutely stunning Dufour 37. Now, the Dufour 37 was the first of the latest generation of hull design from Umberto Felci and Dufour, and the first of the Dufour range to incorporate this really pronounced full-length hull chine, which you can see as we move around the boat. Now, hull chines are very beneficial to cruising yachts. They minimise the amount of heel, so this boat will only heel to around 18 to 20 degrees. And by minimising the amount of heel, maximising safety, comfort, it really makes it very easy to move around the cockpit. You're also reducing the amount of drag on the hull as you're sailing, so that maximises your performance. And they also give you a lot of benefits in terms of interior space as well, which we'll see when we head downstairs. The saloon and the fore cabin on this boat are like nothing else you'll find on a boat of this size. So very, very spacious boat inside. Let's jump up on board here and have a good look around. So let's start on the aft of the boat here on the bathing platform. Now, a really nice swim ladder on this boat with two swimming pool grips. Makes it really nice and easy to get on and off if you've been having a swim, and brings you straight up into the stern shower with hot and cold running water. Now, the aft bathing platform lowers and raises manually as standard. There is an option to electrify it if you prefer, but it's actually very light and easy to use. And then we will move on to everyone's favourite features and something that's unique to Dufour yachts, and that is the plancher grill on the aft here with the sink, the hot and cold running water for food prep and hand washing. Now, this has been one of the most popular features of the Dufours over the last couple of generations, and it just gives you the ability to be able to be outside socialising with your guests when you're at anchor on a mooring buoy, and keep all the cooking smells outside, and something that people absolutely love. Our customers use them all the time, so it's something that's a really, really great feature of this boat. So we will shut the barbecue and have a look a little bit further aft here. Down in here you've got a really handy life raft storage area, so it's really nice and easy to access should you need it, and it keeps the life raft out of the way, so you're not constantly tripping over it on deck. On the aft, on the starboard side, you have the diesel filler, which is really conveniently located, so you can get to it when you're topping up your levels. And then the same with the water filler on the other side. And that is just something that just makes the boat super easy to use. So, under this locker here, you have a nice deep storage locker. So this being the 3 cabin, it only has a shallow deck locker, but you do have a vast storage area down here, and I think I've got 6 or 7 fenders in there, and still room for plenty more, so you can get rid of all your lines tucked away neatly for when you're going on a long trip. Shut that down. And then on the other side you have the gas locker, plenty of storage in there, space for 2 gas bottles, so it's really nice and tucked away, easy to access, and plenty of storage on board. Right, let's step up onto the boat here, and as we do, have a look at the port side pedestal. So on the port side you have your wind instrumentation. On this case, this boat's fitted with a Raymarine system of 2 7-inch chart plotters up on the pedestals here. There is a B&G option, or if you prefer, anything can be fitted locally depending on what your preference is. But having the chart plotters up in front of you when you're navigating is just so handy. It takes all the stress out of coming in and out of port. So on this boat we spec'd the black Carbo Nautica wheels. Really nice feel to them, give plenty of feedback through the rudder, and it just makes for a really nice helming station, helming position. And then over onto the starboard side with the throttle. Throttle's down low. As standard, you can have them electrified and brought up onto the pedestal for easy parking. Depends on your personal preference. On this side of the boat, you have the auto helm control, another 7-inch Raymarine display, your engine controls, and your bow thruster control. So, as standard from Dufour, you get the side power proportional control bow thrusters, and this is a tunnel thruster in this case. So, being proportional control, you can input a little bit of power into the bow thruster if you may need to make minor adjustments, or you can input full power should you need to make a major adjustment in heavy wind conditions. And one of the really great things about having a proportional thruster is that you have the hold function here. So as you're coming alongside, if you're solo or short-handed, you're standing right over the aft cleat, and then as you come alongside, the boat next door will come alongside the pontoon, depending on which way you go. You can click the boat into hold, and that will put the bow thruster on and leave it on, pinning the boat against the boat next door or the pontoon, making it really nice and easy to get your lines on, and the bow won't be drifting off in the wind, and it just takes the stress out of parking. And that, coupled with having a large single rudder, means that handling the boat in the marina is really, really nice and easy. So let's have a look at the seating across the aft. So there are cushions that go right the way across the stern, and your guard wires come across. So you have additional seating in the aft here, nice little seating area over the barbecue. The other side folds down as well. Cushions all the way across and lean-tos as you're sailing. And then a really, really spacious cockpit. So one of the beauties of moving to this German main sheet system with the bridle is that it allows the cockpit to be so much larger, and you have easily space for 6 people around the table, possibly 8, and then the additional seating across the aft as well. So there's loads and loads of space in this cockpit. It's perfect for entertaining, and it's a really comfortable, nice place to sit. Quite a lot of our customers have been going for cockpit enclosures to extend the season, and that's another really nice option. To completely enclose the cockpit just means that you can use the boat year round in fairly warm conditions. With the heating on downstairs, this area does keep fairly warm and keeps the wind off you, and it just gives the boat just another little bit of living space. So something that's very much worth considering. Let's have a quick look at the driving position. So I'm standing at the helm now. Even with the spray hood up, you have excellent visibility all the way around the boat, and that's thanks in no short part to the fact that the deck has been raised, so that gives you loads of headroom in the aft cabins, which we will have a look at when we go down below. But also what it gives you is excellent visibility all the way around the boat. So when you're coming into park stern to, obviously imagine that the boarding platform is up, you have great visibility right the way across to that aft corner. So whichever way you're parking, you can see all the way, and it just makes parking an absolute breeze. Right, let's walk up the side decks here. So you'll notice that the side decks have been completely cleared. So all of the Genoa cars and gear has been moved up onto the coach roof to give you completely clear side decks. The side decks have all been widened by up to 30% as opposed to the previous model, which means that getting up and down alongside the boat is very easy. And you have really nice grab handles all the way down, so moving up and down, again, so simple. Grab rail all the way along the side. Good high stanchions and guard wires, keeping you feeling safe should you need to move up the boat. The boat is single line reefed, so there's very limited amount of moving up to the mast that you should need to do, but should you need to go up and down, it is very, very simple process. One thing to note as we move up the boat is just the level of glazing that's been incorporated into the boat, and that is to maximise the interior light, which we'll have a look at when we go downstairs, and it's really, really noticeable in this boat. The largest hull windows put onto any Dufour so far, and then glazing all the way down the side of the boat, across the top, lots of ventilation, lots of light, hatches all the way, and it just makes the interior of this boat absolutely stunning place to be. So the standard setup on this boat would be a slab reef main with a self-tacking jib. The option we've gone for on this boat is the 108 Genoa, and on this boat we have the laminate upgraded Elstrom sails, which are a really, really nice option. But obviously we can configure sail packages however you prefer. But to maximise the performance of this boat, having the laminate with the 108 is proven to be the most powerful way to get this boat going. And the really nice thing is, this being the ocean version, has the spinnaker gear in place. So we've been speccing a lot of these boats with a Helix Furling Jenica with a UV strip on, so you can pre-rig the Jenica before a trip, and if you need a little bit more power, then you can just unfurl the Jenica and away you go. And it's a really nice simple option, and the boat sails really, really well with it. Moving forward, you'll notice there is no anchor locker, so something that's been unique to this boat and unique to the Dufour range now is that the anchor locker is now very narrow but very deep. So the bulkhead comes there, we can just see the end of my toe, and it runs the entire depth of the boat. So lots of scope for anchor chain. You can put plenty of chain in there, and because it drops the entire length of the boat, it is very, very unlikely to tangle. So you can anchor up and down as many times as you need to without ever needing the hassle. Should you need to access the anchor locker for any reason, you can get to it through the forward cabin, but to be honest with you, it's been a revelation in terms of the whole design, and it gives you so much more space in the forward cabin, which we'll have a look at when we go downstairs. Controlled by 2 buttons on there. A nice option on this boat as well is to put a remote control onto the pedestals, so you can anchor from the aft with a chain counter, which is something that a lot of people have been going for recently. So we'll spin round, head back down the deck. Nice wide open foredeck. There is an option to put some cushions up onto the foredeck for sunbathing. We'll move back down inside the boat. And as I say, this being the ocean version, it does have the German main sheeting system, so that your winches, all your control lines come back to the cockpit and come back to the helm station. So if you're short-handed or solo, it makes it really nice and easy to control this boat, to handle the genoa, and to sheet in the main sheet as well. Obviously, option to electrify all the winches if you need to. Something that's been sort of very common, especially on the slab reef boat, is to electrify the port side coach roof winch, and that just gives you the ability to hoist the mainsail really easily. And then once that's done, you can run all your reefing lines across it as well, so it makes controlling the sail really nice and simple. So good ventilation hatches down into the aft cabins, which we'll have a look at down below. Really, really comfortable, spacious place to be. A really good sized cockpit table with storage in it. And there we have it. That is the on-deck tour of the Dufour 37. Let's go and have a look downstairs. So let's have a look at the interior of this boat. Now this is the 3-cabin light oak version of the Dufour 37. There is a 2-cabin boat available as well, which we will have a look at in another walkthrough. But this interior, for me, is like nothing else you'll find on a yacht of this size. So much light flooding in here, through the glazing, through the whole windows. And just as we look around, you can really feel that hull chine coming into play. It allows the designers to carry the beam right up past the mast and gives you a forward cabin like you won't find on any other boat of this size, and saloon volume is just so nice. Now, one of my absolute favourite things about this boat is that when you're sitting down below, you can see straight out of the whole window. So if you're using this as a working space, or you're away and the weather's not brilliant, you don't feel like you're enclosed, you don't feel tucked away like you would on an older style yacht. You've got so much light coming in, great visibility all the way around, and it just makes it such a pleasant place to be. And there's one of my absolute favourite features of this boat. So the biggest difference in the 2-cabin to the 3-cabin is that the 3-cabin heads compartment comes forward, whereas in the 2-cabin it would be in the aft, but we'll have a look at that on the other boat. You get a really good size head on this boat with the 3-cabin 1 heads layout. And this boat is spec'd with the manual flush, as you can see. You can obviously have electric toilets as well, either freshwater flush or saltwater, and all boats come with holding tanks, as you'd imagine, as well. And then as we move aft, this would be your 3rd cabin. So most of our customers who have the 3-cabin boat use this as a walk-in storage area. You do lose a little bit of the headroom just because of the deck locker, but not a vast amount. But you get a really nice sized bed and the beam coming into play nicely in the aft there, which gives you just so much space in these aft cabins. Lots of light coming in, lots of headroom. You can easily stand up in there, and I'm 6'2". And lots of storage over that side as well. And the main guest cabin would be on this side. As you can see, they deliberately didn't put a deck locker on the sides. You get lots and lots of headroom in there. It's a really comfortable cabin. Again, good sized bed. You have your isolators down there for all your electronics. Hanging storage, reading lights with USB chargers, and then small ventilation hatches, and again, light coming in. It's a little bit blocked by the cushion that's up there at the moment, but Lots and lots of light, and they're just really pleasant cabins, really nice, comfortable places to be, especially for a boat on this size. Moving round into the galley, you have an L-shaped galley, which again, very nice and sociable when you're cooking, preparing food. You can speak to your guests in the saloon area. You've got your standard 2-burner gas hob and your standard oven on a gimbal. Really, really good sized fridge. Lots of refrigeration space, and then a 1.5 sink as well. So again, really nice and spacious to washing up and bits and pieces. And then storage all the way around the bottom in the cupboards, and a built-in bin. Storage underneath the oven, storage up at eye level, and then storage in the saloon table as well. So lots and lots of places to tuck things away. And then you've got it all the way around the boat as well, as you can imagine. So lots and lots of space. And then the most important piece of storage on any French yacht is the wine storage. So Dufour catered for this in 2 ways. What's that? 1, 2, 8 spaces for bottles of wine there, plus a few more. And then in Dufour's famous wine cellar, so tucked away under the floorboards, you can have multiple bottles of wine hiding away under the floorboards, so you're never going to run out when you're on a long passage, which is essential for any sailing trip. So where do we get to? We are now going to have a look in the forward cabin, and one of the nicest features about this boat, and a feature that you just won't find on any other yacht of this size, absolutely vast forward cabin, huge bed, good walk-arounds either side in this configuration. And then you can see, as we looked at up on deck, moving that bulkhead moving that bulkhead forwards gives you space for a full-size double bed, which is really, really nice size. Again, lots of light coming in, lots of ventilation. And there is an option, if you do prefer, to have 2 cushions, one either side in the 2 gaps, and fill out that entire area. Give yourself an absolutely huge bed. A little bit of storage on this side, and the same on the other side, hanging storage. Fiddles on the shelves all the way around, so you can tuck all your bits and pieces away. It just makes for a really, really nice, comfortable forward cabin. So, last couple of bits to have a look at would be, one of my favourite things as well is the electronic monitoring system. So you can cycle through, you can see your battery levels, your water levels, barometer. So you've got your fuel level, your water levels, and your battery levels as well. So something that's really nice, and all your switching all clearly labelled, and your VHF down here. On this boat, gone for the Fusion stereo system with dual zone playback, so you can have the option to have it on just downstairs or up on deck as well. So that is really the interior of a Dufour 37. So let's just finally have a look at the engine bay. It's a really nice spacious engine bay. And this is the Volvo 30 horsepower, which is the upgraded. Standard is a 19, but to be honest with you, we always spec the 30 horsepower, something that's very much well worth it. Powers the boat along really nicely, comfortably at 6.5 knots, 7 knots, and it's something that's a bit of a no-brainer when it comes to optioning in a boat. And being Volvo, excellent warranty should you need it, and a very, very reliable engine. Great access to around the engine bay as well. You can see it's not tucked away, not hidden. You can get into the sides very easily through the aft cabins as well. So really, really well appointed engine bay. Right, there we have it. That's the Dufour 37. If you have any questions, or you'd like to come and have a look at this boat, then please don't hesitate to give us a call on 02380 458 737. My name's Joe, and my colleague is Chris, and we'd be more than happy to get you on board. Please stay tuned for more walkthrough videos. We'll speak very soon. Bye-bye.